Hello and welcome back. We rejoin the action just a few hours into day one. We got some very tricky customers at our TV table, including Disco Monkey and tournament veteran Zanzibaks. So we're sure to see some classy poker. Let's get to it.
PKR Live, here we go. Second session's underway. I'm Colin Morris here with Dan Grint
Heyo.
and Scott Shelley.
Howdy.
Scott slightly weighed down by the weight of that World Series of Poker Europe bracelet. He's listing slightly to the right.
Just a little bit.
300. Yeah, blind's kicking up to 150 and 3 now. Started with 10k. There's been a fair bit of play already, but Scott, this is the time when classic kind of opening raise is going to be 750, 8, even 900. Therefore, you're not just going to be wanting to call and see a few flops now.
Nah, you're going to be looking to try and pick up as many pots without showdown as possible.
Not a great deal of 3-betting in session number 1. You think any of these guys are going to be opening up their game, or really are we not going to be seeing much change in gear?
I'm sure there's going to be a change in gear throughout the whole tournament at this point. Most of them are veterans on the tournament scene. They know what they're doing.
Chief Stake scooping the blinds with that $800 raise. And the dealer playing sheriff now on the table. A little bit of argy-bargy.
We'll do it real clear. Just because it's 550, isn't it? 300 play. I've got change here, you see. So yeah. Oh, yeah.
Zanzibaks must have seen his hand trying to get his change early.
Unless he's like leveling on the level.
Yeah.
He's seen he's got a monster. That would be sick. Doesn't seem like anyone spotted that though.
Nah.
Chief Stick raises out the second hand in a row. This time he's got ace-queen suited.
Yeah, Basisti's calling from the small here. One of these tricky little spots where you're going to be all at sea unless you spike, or unless you've got a bit of a plan to make a play. Basisti's been fairly deeply involved in session number 1.
Well, a little something for everyone there. Basisti with his 10, Chief Stake with 2 spades.
Yeah, normally online you'd be looking at these two to be getting it in here now, but this is kind of far away from that situation. Some of these guys have travelled from all around Europe to get to this spot.
Yeah, it's all relative on chip stack as well. Is it a flat call there, yeah?
Was indeed from Basisti.
And there's the flush.
Let's see if Chief Stake shows any signs of nervousness. Got the nut flush.
Sneaky check behind, no?
2,000.
Tough spot here now for Basisti.
Yeah, what kind of hands is he really beating here, Scott?
Yeah, I was about to save 2 barrels into him.
I mean, he's got to know a lot about his opponent here, and his opponent's really got to have the profile of someone who is barreling at least twice, if not 3 times, without the goods, and it just doesn't look like that's the kind of opponent he's up against here.
Nah, it's only hands maybe like ace-king with the ace of spades, barrels there.
Yeah, Chief Stake turns the nuts, but loses his customer. 9th in the Masters, then 2nd in the Masters chief stake for 15 grand. Qualified for PKR Live IV, but couldn't get a visa, so this is his maiden voyage. 129 grand in winnings on PKR, 9th in the all-time money list. So, you know, sorry, Colin, perhaps capable of doing of making a couple of barrels, but not so far in this tournament.
But awesome reputation on the site, and I'm sure he carries that with him into this game.
Haven't really seen anyone get out of line yet.
Basisti, ace king, making it 1,500. Well, we've seen that look a lot from Basisti, sort of high concentration.
Yeah, you're not getting much information out of that dude. Himself a Masters final tableist, of course. Marco Vainio from Sweden. 6.5 grand for 4th place back in 2008. Wow, Sir Drumboy, having limped, sees the ace-king. Now he makes the raise. Limps for 300, makes it 5K, Scott.
Something creative going on here, definitely.
And now, because of the nature of limp re-raising in tournaments, and the fact that people really did start to do that with aces, kings, and ace-king under the gun in the last year or two, now Basisti's faced with a bit of a strange decision.
It's kind of weird because he's made the limp from middle position, so it doesn't seem like a type of trap, but it's definitely giving Basisti a tough decision here.
It's kind of player dependent here as well, don't you think? We've not seen a great deal of Sir Drumboy.
And another big decision for Basisti. He's really been put to the fire in this tournament.
Please don't fold. There you go.
Oh, right on cue.
I wanted him to fold. I wanted the move to get through. That would have been great. But now, of course, Sir Drumboy, he's put 5K in.
I think he's committed now,
Of
surely.
course he's committed. I mean, what's he going to have behind in order to get away? 15, 20
Yeah,
grand?
15 plus.
There you are, only 37.25 left. They get it in the middle, so Drumboy sees the bad news. He's going to have to see a queen or a diamond here.
Wonder who's on the other end of that phone call.
Ace 2 diamonds would be fun.
Well, no diamonds, so gonna take a couple queens for Sir Drumboy to get out of this.
Jack bull.
Yeah, that's as soon as I saw the flop, it was Jack Bull.
No, I'm afraid not. Well, down to just the 3 outs here, Sir Drumboy.
King or a 6 for a chop.
Yeah, you're right. Nice spot.
Well-deserved double up there for Basisti.
Yes, and Sir Drumboy has to hang up on his imaginary friend. He's on the other end of the finger phone.
Yeah, that's right. Pietro, he looks to have crippled his stack.
Geppetto, you're about to go on the feature TV table. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward. I think it's a really good idea for PKR. We have a chance to go there for the TV table, so I hope we can make something good, you know.
There's a danger it might kind of alter your play because of nerves or whatever. Is that, do you think?
I don't think so. I just try to think, okay, how I will play online. So I think it's the same, more or less.
But the thing is that obviously we at home are going to be able to see your cards. So,
Yeah.
so we're going to know how you play.
No, that's no problem. That's no problem, seriously.
Okay, what about the other guys on the table? How have they been playing?
They are really good guys. They're playing really good. Yeah, some coolers. someone had like 40, and another one 43. So yeah,
And how about yourself? Where are you?
yeah, I have 13. Not too bad. I was short stack, but later on I double up to what's winning. So it's not bad.
Okay, good luck, and go and make your way to the feature table. Good luck, my man.
I see you.
Cheers, man. Good luck. Okay, off you hop.
Gepetti, one of our all-time favorite players on PKR, joins a brand new table. That's their names. If you're a regular PKR tournament player, you're going to recognize a few of these guys, aren't you, Dan?
Yeah, that's right. We've got a couple of Masters winners at this particular table. Marlon, 67, of course. He's won the big dance. He got 26K for his win. LJF Aces in the 3 seats. He's also taken it down. He got 31K.
And it's getting a bit fruity here before the flop, isn't it, Scotty?
Yeah, we got, what's going on here? We got a free bet from Fishmonger.
I think a raise, then a re-raise from Fishmonger.
Yeah, Fishmonger's regular at the 5-10 cash tables, so he's not averse to the odd move. And he won't be afraid to get his chips in the middle. Himself a casher in previous PKR Lives. In PKR Live 1, in this main event, he came 15th for 1,100 bucks. A few months later in PKR Live 2, he came 14th in this event for 1,100 bucks. No dice in PKR Live 3, but he's back for another try.
And he's just been shipped on now. And into the muck it goes.
Into the muck. Oh dear.
I like the fact he didn't dwell up or make it look like he had a tough decision.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
get it out
yeah.
there. Just move on to the next hand.
Anything to be said for flattening in that spot, out of position, you've been 3-bet and you're holding aces, or is it an obvious shit? I mean, we don't know his stack size, so like...
The fact he's shit makes me think that he could have flatted and then just literally get it in on the flop from a C-bet. But the deuce might have fallen and he might have regretted it,
Yeah.
so...
Marlon, in the black and white striped shirt, gets out of the way.
And here goes one of our favorite community members, Martin, the meaty Martin, with the sunglasses. He's all PKR'd up. He is just one big exponent of the community. He loves it all.
Looking rather fierce there.
Yeah, he is. He looks fierce, but he's a big, friendly teddy bear.
To those that know him.
Yeah, interesting. Gets out a little out of line there with the 9-5. And perhaps Lee, a.k.a. LJF Aces, spots something. 3 bets with just Queen 10, and he takes it down.
Man on fire, caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
Okay. It's the main man, King Kai. How are you, fella?
I'm doing not so good at the moment, but I'm feeling it. James just come to the table, so he's gonna double me up a couple of times, I think.
I was gonna say, oh, we've got an all-in here. Let's just check out the all-in.
All-in on number 3.
Aces here. And ace-queen over there. Ace-queen not looking good. Split pot could happen here. No, it's not going to happen. There we go. Aces hold up. Aces and jacks. Takes it, Dune. She was all in there. Is that a hand you want? Aces, Kai.
Yeah, I've been waiting for it all day, but it's gonna come sooner or later, I hope. Yeah.
What do you think? James 666 just sat down at your table. You and him had a little bit of history, both pros. How do you fancy your chances against him?
Well, I know he's drunk and he has a lot of chips, so he will probably raise every other hand. So if I have any kind of hand, I just get it in and hope to get lucky.
Okay, good man. Best of luck, Kai.
That's Kai's philosophy. Just get it in and hope to get lucky.
Kai Paulson, one of my favorite PKR pros. Always in a good mood, and in an especially good mood, I think, at PKR Live.
Yeah. We got a couple of ace-queens here. One easier to play than the other, Scott.
Yeah, it's just... Ooh, We've got a limp here from the man on fire.
Well, let's see what his plan is with the limp before we condemn.
Standard raise here with the ace-queen, and now it's a tricky decision here for the other ace-queen. Elects to pass.
And the action's on the Frenchman, one black mamba from the big. He doesn't fancy the 8 high. Back round to man on fire, and this is the problem with open limping.
It's not going to help, he's out of position as well.
Yeah, he makes the call. Bingo.
Well, that's the flop he was after. It's looking like a genius now, guys.
Yeah, the question is how to get paid. He checks. He gets the c-bet from Zatovic. Brave enough to flat. Does flat really get you anywhere if you call here because your opponent kind of knows that you got a piece of it? You ain't really going to get any more.
It's kind of tricky. He can flat, but it'll just mean he has no idea where he's at. And if he chooses to raise, which he has, he's shoving in.
Well, there's no insta-call, so he knows he's good.
Yeah. I think that was going through his mind as he shoved. No insta-call, please.
I think we've all been the person with the ace-queen and felt a little bit hard done by. You've done everything right in the hand so far.
Yes, it's pretty standard here. He's going to have to muck it. He's done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Zatovic gets away from the hand, as predicted.
Yeah, pretty rough on most flops. That c-bet's going to get through.
Yeah, it's a good c-bet and flop, really, the paired board.
Pocket aces again, this time for JJ Bird. He's on the button.
Yeah, and bad news for Marlon in the big blind. We might be seeing the back of the big man.
Must be nice to find aces on the button.
Has that never happened to you ever once playing poker, Scotty?
Never.
Yeah, Scott doesn't require aces.
No.
He just requires to crack aces.
And the re-raise comes in from JJ Bird.
The action on Marlon 67.
And the lot goes in. JJ Bird's licking his lips inside.
It's a pretty big jam.
What was the amount?
1875 from JJ, 16 and a bit from Marlon. 16 and a half.
I don't think
Obviously,
he's getting called by a worse hand, but he's hoping to try and take it down, I guess.
I guess so. He doesn't. I mean, he could have flatted and played like 15 behind, but you know.
It's tricky from the small blind out of position.
Well, he's flopped some outs.
8 or a 10. Yeah, that's a brick.
Not this time, Marlon. One of PKR's favorite players goes home. He'll be playing a few cash games and sit and goes before he makes his way back to Holland, though.
Yeah, he's played PKR Live 2, 3, and 4. No big result for the big man. Let's hope he's back for PKR Live 5.
Marlon, you're not in tears, but you must be a bit gutted.
Yes, well, a little bit disappointment, but I had to shove my pocket tens, so at the TV table.
Yeah, I think it was a kind of a bit of a cooler. There's nothing else you can do there, or was it possible to fold that hand?
No, a chip leader had 34k, and I had 17k left. So first I got a min raise, and he re-raised to 34, and I got 17k left. So I saw my pocket tens, I had to shove. So there was nothing else to do. I got a nice flop though. It was Jacks 9-7, so 6 outs, but 3 and a 4, so it was done.
Didn't come through for you. JJ Bird took you out. He's pretty chipped up and looking good.
Yeah, he's looking good. He came on the table as chip leader after Zlatan left the table with a draw with LGF aces, and he's still running strong. So,
yeah. If you were to pick an eventual winner from that current TV table, who would it be?
I think Fishmonger is doing well at the moment. And also Jay at 22, bird 22, yeah.
Sadly, not your year, but we'll see you next year.
Of course. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Good man. Okay, hard luck.
Thank you very much.
The always observant Marlon 67. Looking forward to seeing more of him in future tournaments.
Well, and this immediately looks like a cooler for Fishmonger. We saw him play the deuces, 3-betting an early position raiser who happened to have aces a few minutes back. You'd imagine with nines, he's going to be all guns blazing, Scott.
I wouldn't necessarily say all guns blazing, but it's a strong hand. Made the raise, and it looks like he's going to get popped here, is it? There we go. Now he's in a bit of a tricky situation.
Well, what pocket tens taketh away, and giveth in return on this hand.
I feel he's good enough to get away from his hand here. Seems to look like he knows something's up.
Reasonably tight player, 3 bets from the small blind. Kind of tells its own story.
Yes, it's got to be a muck here for me, I think. I mean, if they're massively deep stat, you can peel one, play a flop in position, but I don't believe they are that deep.
Well, you can tell by the wry smile. Iqbal does not like this situation one bit.
Now he looks very much like a man giving up on a hand. And there they go into the muck.
Painfully let it go. But it was the right decision, so I'm sure he'll be pleased.
Yeah, and Johan Dijkstra from the Netherlands rakes in a pot. Well, blinds now 4 and 8 with a running ante. This is the time to get busy, no?
Yeah, definitely. We've got to get some chips up, start getting your way to the final table, I guess.
Well, and Black Mamba looks like he might have his ticket there with pocket queens.
Yeah, it looks like Man on Fire is going to open the pot here. And I can expect nothing less than a shove here from Black Mamba.
Another bold prediction from our World Series of Poker Europe bracelet winner.
There you go.
Hey.
Well, Martin is going to be fine with the fold. He would have been sick if he'd been priced in, though, really.
Yeah, he can easily pass this. It's like another 6K. He's going to make it look like he's got a tougher decision than he does.
Some first-class chip riffling there from Man on Fire.
Whoa, and some first-class tough man Matrix-style stareage from this dude. Wow.
Black Mamba shows us his poker face.
Christian Poggi from Marseille. It gives absolutely nothing away. Martin shows the ace ball there. Wants to get taken seriously at this table. I wonder if he wins a big pot, whether he's going to, like, run round the table pointing at his username like footballers do. Yeah, that's me.
That I'd enjoy to see.
The ladies would like to see that. If the top comes off, there's going to be no yellow card. Him and Marlon, they are a PKR calendar, I tell you, those two. You can make a lot of money from that. Well, another young Frenchman, Keith, gets his chips in the middle. He's under the gun. He's not got that much behind.
No, a bit of an unusual bet in a lot of circumstances, but he's so desperate for chips. Rather than let the big blind come to him, he's decided to get his chips in now with a semi-decent hand, I guess. K9 suited.
I like the play myself. Stop the blinds getting through you. If you get called, it's likely you're going to be live. As he is in this spot.
Well, a little smile from Keith.
Knows he's been caught.
He's not too unhappy, though. He can spike something. JJ can, of course, afford to take a minor beat here. It won't dent his tournament chances too much.
Yeah, it's a must call here for JJ.
And there's the king.
I think he's starting to wish it wasn't a must call.
And no ace on the end to ruin it for Keith. He lives to fight another day.
Well, let's head to the outer tables. And Ashley has found himself a customer.
From our original lineup of 150 runners, there's about half the field left. And one of our chip leaders is James 666.
Of course I'm a chip leader. What else would I be?
How come this happened?
Well, I ran good, but I ran good in the right spots. My bluffs are getting through, and I'm getting paid on the good hands. So it's not like I'm getting lucky, but it's nice to feeling.
I have to say, I was sat down near you and I saw you put out a tremendous bluff with 10 high when it was king high board.
Yeah, well, I mean, the way the hand went is it was a raise, a call. I squeezed with 10-8, and then the overlimper called again. So he could never have ace-king or something. He would have just shipped on me then, or he would have raised pre-flop. Flop came king 6-5. It's unlikely he's got sixes or fives. If he's got it, he's got it. If he slow played aces, he's got it. I bet he min-raised to see where he was. I knew he was doing that. I jammed. He folded.
See, when he min-raised you, I thought he's holding a really, really nice hand there, like king-queen, something like that. Is that what the hand you sort of put him on and thought you can get him off it?
If he had something like king-queen, he probably would have just flatted the flop there because there was no draw out except for 7-8 for the straight draw. So therefore, he would want to try and get me to bluff some more. He wouldn't raise because he's going to fold off any worse hands. So he never had a king or he had aces. And that was all I could really put him on or a set. But.
Nice work, sir. What does your chip stack stand at the moment?
I think it's like 48,000.
How many Jaegers have you had, more to the point?
About 48,000.
Excellent. Good man. So a Jaeger for every chip. Long may it continue. Good luck, okay?
Thanks very much, Ash.
By the way, you've just changed tables. Is that all cool?
Yeah, I've got a fish on my table now. We've got King Kai on my table.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, best of luck against him and all the others, all right? Cheers, man.
Well, James Sudworth looks relaxed. Not all of these guys do.
They are likely not fueled up by a load of Jägermeister, though.
Well, James always likes to have a good time at his live events. Takes things a little more seriously when he's in front of the computer.
A raise from early position from WinXT. Tricky one for Jax.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky.
What do you think about that flat call, Scott?
I don't like it. If I'm honest, with the stat there, I'm shoving or passing.
So you'd lay down pocket jacks in that situation?
It really depends on the situation, the opponent, stack sizes. But you can pass there. It's not the worst pass in the world.
Well, that makes things interesting. Two players with pocket jacks. Man on fire shoves.
And of course, Black Mamba's call makes Man on Fire's decision kind of straightforward there.
Yeah, it's such an easy spot to jam your chips in.
Yeah.
And Black Mamba makes the call with pocket jacks, so unless there's a four flush, this is going to be a split pot.
The dealer is not going to be happy when he sees their hands after sorting out the chips here.
Oh my word, here we go.
Oh no.
He is not going to be
Dealer.
happy.
This is why you count him up after the hand. Let him play it out first.
One time, don't put it all into one pot.
Oh, come on. Get the arm out there, sweep it all in. Sweep it all in the middle, give it a little, give it a little mix.
The intensity of Black Mamba.
I hear chips rumbling. Oh, he's done it.
Oh, he's done it. Well,
and he's just realised what's going to happen.
Yeah, Black Mamba's grimace turns to a smile as he realises it's unlikely he's been leaving this tournament.
Well, a couple more clubs on the turn in the river could make a difference.
Free roll.
Oh dear.
Whoopsie.
Oh, 10 of spades.
Dear, oh dear. Oh, well, relief for Man on Fire.
That would have been a horrible situation to go out in a 4 flush.
Yeah, well, Black Mamba, a little smile from him. We also saw smiles from him at this year's World Series of Poker. Of course, he qualified for our World Series experience, came out there, didn't cash in the 1K event number 54 that we sent about 40 players to. But I think he pretty much got his value from the nightclubs.
Yeah. I don't think there was one person that wasn't having a great time there.
Tell you what, we got our value from that dealer. Look at that. He got those chip stacks back together in a big hurry. Pretty innovative hairstyle, too, on that dealer. Not sure that's going to catch on.
Colin's our style, fashion and style specialist in this particular tournament.
I like to pay attention.
What trends are coming up in the new year, Colin?
In the poker new year. What's good at the tables nowadays, Colin? PKR hoodie, all year round. Like
PKR hoodie, hood up.
That one never dies. Well, the man at the end with the check shirt, Masters winner LJF Aces. You better keep an eye on him. He'll go far. He has got serious game. Well, and maybe that's why he's been matched. WWNXT.
LJF Aces makes the call.
This pot's just got a bit bloated now.
Yeah, and maybe a little sick feeling inside from WinXT.
Yeah, I doubt he's happy about getting called in that spot, especially after whiffing the flop.
Yeah, 10.5 in the middle. The deep reach, in it goes. It's a solid move and a nice way to make some chips, though.
Well, yeah, and LJF Aces might have had reason to get excited about that flop with his ace-6, but not excited enough to call that bet.
And I'd be tempted to throw in the bluffing with the best hand line there.
Interesting show with the ace-5. A kind of don't F with me kind of
exactly.
show. I can have nothing there. Very interesting.
New player at the table, Benji 1985.
And after winning that last spot in fine style, WinXT, he's under the gun. He makes it 2-2-5-0 to go. Well, and he immediately hears the bad news.
The man with the greatest poker face in the industry has shipped it in again.
Yeah.
Well, he's loosened up a bit on this hand. He's chewing the gum. Wonder if that's a tell.
Chewing gum means no pair.
I just added it to my notes, Scotty. Chewing gum, ace of diamonds, king of spades, every time.
Yeah, and you can't be too pleased here. It's another 9K.
Nah, it's a tough spot again. He's raised under the gun, showing a bit of strength, and he's got repopped.
And we've gone into fucking bizarro world. Let's watch this interview again, shall we? But with no sound.
No, but we're hearing the...
Well, and Black Mamba has shown the goods every single time he's raised it up, too, so... Unlikely to be bluffing here.
He seems to think that too, and passes the sevens face up.
And did you see that? He got his face back there. So that's exciting.
Nothing from Geppetto just yet.
There he is in the striped shirt next to the dealer.
Come on, Geppetto, play a hand.
Oh, and actually we welcome Jandro to the table. He's in the 2-seat. He throws his cards in. The young Spaniard from Barcelona. With my crystal ball, I predict that he goes on to win the shootout for 5K, beating Team Pro King Kai heads up. That's what I'll predict with my crystal
It's
ball.
a pretty descriptive.
Very specific,
prediction.
yes, Dan.
Do you know something we don't?
I guess. I in that category, yeah. There's a chunk of things.
And the shove here from Keefe, holding ace queen.
Did Benji limp in, or has he opened the pot for a raise?
I do believe he limped.
Just under 7K more.
Well, it's pretty. There's a consideration. Looks nice, but really.
Should really be a pass here. I mean, you've got the straight flush draw and all.
Yeah, it's the first Italian we've had at this final table. Giorgio Bertoli. It's not even the final table. I'm getting ahead of myself here.
It's not even the first Italian. I thought Geppetto sat down first.
Ah, Geppetto's Spanish.
Oh!
1 all in
Touché.
mistakes. Thank you. Yeah, Giorgio.
Oh, he makes the call with
Makes-
King 9, does Benji.
Wow.
Well, they've held up before against ace queen on this show.
And there's a king.
Ooh. Not good news.
A few redraws here. Got jack, ace, or queen. And there's
dear.
the jack. Makes Broadway.
Well, Keefe, a little just as at least that's the way he would see it. He was ahead pre-flop.
Yeah, I guess so. There'll be some players at this table kind of like looking around at each other, seeing if anyone else is wondering, how about that call with King 9?
It's a bit speculative.
Somewhat. Giorgio with the King 9, he was present at PKR Live 2, didn't manage to cash on that occasion. He's back for more. We'll see how long he sticks around.
It's Keefe's turn with pocket 10s. Ooh, not before Fishmonger gets it all in, though.
Yeah, it looks like a standard shove from the cutoff.
It's like 10 bigs pretty much, so
Yeah.
classic, really.
There's not many people doing anything else but shoving there.
And in terms of range, even if you don't know anything about Fishmonger, right here, I mean, you've got to assume that someone with 10 big blinds is going to be jamming with a pretty wide range.
Yeah. Any ace, suited king, Broadway cards.
And an isolating shove from Keefe.
Fishmonger gazes to his left and sees what is likely to be his conqueror. Just one overcard, a little sheepish.
He points down at the ace, indicating what he wants on the flop.
I'd be asking for a deuce and a 3 first. Well, I mean, he's got it in and he's got a chance, and this is a half-decent pot.
Well, he's halfway there with the 5.
Added a couple more outs now. Club would have been good, but no. Dealer makes him sweat a bit, and it's the 10 of clubs making a set for Keefe.
And he says his goodbyes to the table. Classy player.
Yeah, Iqbal returns to Manchester. No third cash in PKR Live's main event for him.
Fishmonger, no longer selling his fishy wares on the feature table. What happened, dude?
I was short, didn't get much cards really, card dead, and I was in a cut-off with ace-5, thought it's a good opportunity to shove my chips, and unfortunately the player next to me had pocket tens which held up, and that was it really.
Them's the breaks, huh? How were you finding being on the feature table up until then? Do you think it's a good added extra here to PKR Live?
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's going to be really interesting to see some of the whole cards afterwards, because I feel there was some hands that I'm not sure about if it was good to lay them down, so it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, you can look back and see how you did. Hopefully you'll be happily surprised. If not, please don't slit your wrist.
I won't. I'll try not to.
Is there, now that you're out, is there anybody that you're hoping is going to win, or is there anybody that you think's going to take it?
I'm hoping for Baz Ultra. Baz Ultra got a little stake on him. Yeah. So that's my hope at the moment.
Excellent. And do you think you'll be entering again next year?
I think so. I've entered on all of them now, so might as well. And you know, it's a really good party, a really good poker event. So
Yeah, you're going to stick around for the rest of the weekend, yeah?
yeah, definitely.
Excellent. Well, have a drink on me, because they're free.
Yeah, I will. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Take care, hon.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you.
Well, out steps Fishmonger. In steps a new player. Who is he, Dan? Gonna put you on the spot here.
Stevie Spring.
Oh, it is Steve Spring.
Well, you might be surprised to hear that his real name is also Steve Spring.
Is that the first ever recorded case of somebody using their real name as their online poker alias?
No.
Not to my knowledge, no.
It has happened before, but Steve Spring, obviously, he's out there on the edge. He wants his name known.
I like it. Nothing to hide.
Yeah.
He's the jovial-looking gent with the blonde hair, hiding his precious chips at the moment from the rest of the table. Keefe thinking hard about ace-queen here.
It's kind of a tough spot here. He's facing the open under the gun from Black Mamba. He actually has him dominated, but elects to pass. It looks like he's getting through.
So Black Mamba takes the blinds, and that is the advantage of showing off some big hands in some showdowns earlier, I would have thought.
He's definitely got the respect of his fellow players here.
Must be nice to have a little bit of fold equity at this stage in the tournament.
Yeah, sure. Always better to take it down than to get yourself into a 60-40 situation or such.
Stevie Spring. He takes a look. 10-6. Not enough for the youngster from St Albans to get involved. Can't believe it just called Steve Spring a youngster.
Well, it's all relative, Dan. He's certainly younger than you.
I know. Me and Steve, we're good friends, me and Steve. We've met over Facebook. I'm allowed to give him a little nudge.
Well, Keefe gets to play his big ace this time, leading out with 2 grand.
And it's got folded around to JJ with a pretty looking hand here.
Well, if I know anything about Jamie, he's going to peel one off here.
No hesitation there, straight for the chips. Yum Yum's going through his head.
Absolutely.
Well, a little something for everyone on that flop.
Nice action flop there.
It is an action flop, but if you're going to be flopping anything with that hand, this is probably one of the trickiest spots.
Yeah, he's out of position here, so if he checks, he's looking to maybe raise or peel one off, and then it is going to be tricky throughout the hand unless he makes his hand.
I mean, it's a bit of a thin draw, and you're unlikely to see the 5th card for free.
I wouldn't say it's a thin draw. I mean, he's got the top part of the open-ender. It's quite a strong draw on that board. And
Way to
next
keep
big
him
ball.
honest there, Scotty.
I believe it's the best draw going on that flop. And there you go.
Look
No
at
doubt.
that. JJ Bird completes the straight.
The nut straight.
Keefe sitting on high pair.
Yeah, unfortunately, drawing dead here and difficult to see how he's going to get away from this.
Still a tricky spot for JJ. He's just thinking how he can get all the chips in, really.
Any argument for a check as opposed to a bet on this turn?
From JJ?
No, from Keefe.
I like a check here. Yeah, I think I like to check here. I mean, you're only going to get called by... Only hands that you're beating that you get called by is a weaker jack.
Better to sacrifice a little bit of value for some self-preservation by keeping the pot control.
Exactly.
Well, Keefe does the opposite. Puts 8,000 in the middle.
JJ going to pull the trigger, and he says raise. An instant recoil from the table from the Frenchman.
Yep, that look kind of says it all. He's rubbing his chin.
Doesn't like the spot he's in now.
I mean, so often nowadays, if you get called on the flop and then check raised on the turn, you're in a difficult spot.
Yeah. It's kind of looking like a flop set who's now protecting from the draw. If he puts Keefe on an ace or even ace jack here, he knows he's going to have 4 outs to the straight. But in this spot, he's hoping he's made a straight.
Yeah, the ace-5 would be the perfect holdings for Keefe if you're JJ Bird.
Yeah, but it's kind of unlikely now with the raise from early position, but one can hope.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if JJ was putting his opponent on even, you know, a queens type of hand. I mean,
Yeah.
that's got the same value as ace-jack right now, pretty much. I mean, it could even be kings. It's a horrible spot, even if you got kings.
Well, and Keefe shaking his head.
And I mean, it's a huge pot now. This is certainly the biggest pot we have seen in this tournament so far.
And one of the toughest decisions, too.
Bear in mind, though, just 20 minutes ago or so, the young Frenchman had 5 grand and got it in under the gun with King 9, doubled up through JJ's ace queen, and now he's in an agonizing position, but for an absolute monster pot.
Who's that voice we keep hearing in the background?
That's Roy from the Loose Cannon. This, of course, took place in the cavern under the City of London that is the Loose Cannon Card Club.
But no relief in his voice for Keefe. You can just see the pressure. Oh, and he lets them go. And at least he'll be able to watch that one on TV and know he made the right choice.
JJ itching to show, but doesn't.
Look at that grin on JJ's face. That might be enough to tilt Keefe right there.
Trying to give the impression he got away with something there.
We got Martin, man on fire. You're doing all right in there, aren't you?
Yeah, not too bad. I'm sitting on 15 big blinds though, so I want to double up.
Yeah, it's kind of time to gamble.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the hand, but 7-4, 6-3, 5-6 is 5-6 all right, but you know everything else is shit.
5-6 is a monster.
Monstrous compared to what I've been getting.
Yeah. How are you finding it under the lights and with the cameras and everything? Distracting or okay?
The cameras I don't mind whatsoever. The lights. I wish these were my Oakleys, not the other, because they're not blocking anything out. They feel like I'm wearing 2 plates of glass across my face. I'd put it to being the same as playing poker inside a sunbed. You know, getting hot, starting to get sweaty. It's it's not cool. It's not cool.
Okay, but you're still in there, still fighting away. Who's the kind of guy on the table who you kind of really wary of?
Well, I don't know. I can't remember his name. I've got a guy who's 2 to my left, and he's been if I've had a hand, he's been re-raising me and giving me all sorts of trouble. And, you know, I've got ace-jack in early position. I'm getting re-raised by him. I'm just all sorts of problems. So I need the hand I can raise and then withstand the re-raise with, you know.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, we'll get there, we'll get there.
Good man. Okay, Martin, best of luck to you.
Cheers, mate.
Ashley Hames catching up to Man on Fire during the break earlier.
Yeah, the man he was talking about that was giving him inordinate amounts of trouble, 2 to his left, as you can see there in the check shirt, is Lee, a.k.a. LJF Aces. No surprise.
Well, no sooner does he sit down than he gets it all in with ace-king.
Exactly what he's looking for. Unfortunately for him, the player right next to him has found the pre-flop nuts. It's kind of a cooler.
Jandro decides to take his headphone out to find out exactly what the bet is.
Love a smooth call here. Doesn't look like he's making a smooth call.
I mean, it's just not the kind of table that you'd expect someone to kind of make a move on you behind. So, wow, and look at all of these cards behind here. 5, 6s, 7s, ace, queen. Jandro actually makes...
yeah, that shove's looking pretty good, actually.
Yeah, it really is. Who knows how many people he would have brought in behind him if he just flatted there.
Well, all of those players with a reason to call. Not now, though. Well, a bit of bad luck there for Man on Fire. Needs to see some kings now, or maybe some more clubs.
Even a king of clubs now would be a nice turn card for him. Not to be. And we lose Man on Fire.
Well, I'm sure he'll be magnanimous, as always.
No sooner do I speak to you outside, Martin. I mean, I must be the kiss of death to you. I'm sorry.
Well, what can we say? Last time we spoke, I was waiting for a big hand. As soon as I sat down, under the gun, ace, king, yes, job's a good one, push all in, 15 big blinds, guy to my left, cool, aces. It's not even a bad beat. I can't complain. But it would have been nice to at least have a race, got to be honest, but there's nothing more I can do about it. I'll just smash the shootout tomorrow and go from there.
Well, you had a bit of time, though, on that TV table. What was that like as an experience for you?
It's good, but it doesn't stop the way you make your plays. I'm sure you see a few of the hands I was making a few plays and stills with earlier on were very dubious hands, shall we say, but make these plays and occasionally get caught with my hands in the tin and every now and again get away with it as well.
So obviously you are no more, but who do you think is going to come through on that table?
Well, let's be honest. We got VD on there, haven't we? You know, last year's champ. He's got a few chips to make some plays, so I stick my money on a previous champ. I haven't really seen who's on the other tables over there, but we all know that if VD's got chips, then he can make the plays and do his stuff. So best of wishes to Vince, to be honest.
Cool, man, Martin. Thank you very much. Put it there.
Cheers, mate.